conversation. It won't be a back and forth question and answer thing. I'm gonna let him tell his story, and we just gonna rap today. Hey, how you doing, Fleece?
Doing all right
Everything all right with you
so far.
so far?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here. Man, let's get right into it. Man, what was the young Fleece like? When did you get started? Where was you born? And tell us a little bit about your childhood.
Well, I was born in Louisville, Kentucky, west end of Louisville. Projects called Southwick. Works as most violent projects in Louisville. And I live right across the street from the school, Duval.
Yeah, my parents went to Duval. What about when did the Menace come out? Because you got started pretty early.
Yeah, my minutes came out, early. I said I was about 12 when it came out.
What was your first crime?
Well, my first crime was stealing a car.
At 12?
Yeah.
Wow. You weren't playing.
No, I wasn't. And I used to steal cars. I had a little gang. And we steal cars and we'd go mess with the police. You know, I drive right up to the parking lot when they change shift, run into one of them, cuss and make them chase us. And we had a position where we'll take them through the alley to initiate to get in our gang. You would have to do this, bring the police through the alley. We be sitting on the cut. And when we see your car drove up out the alley, we know they right in back of you. So when they come out of the alley, we'll hit them, flip their cars and shit. So this went on for quite a while, man, and the police caught all my little gang members, and they all told on me. And so now they want to get me. So, but they could never catch me because I was too good. You know, at least I thought I was, right?
Right.
And then one night on 34th Street, they blocked the whole street out in just a horseshoe, right? And there's about 30, 40 police cars out there, and all of them just opened up, start shooting.
Wow.
And they thought they killed me. And the ambulance was already there, and the people in the projects came out. They heard all the gunshots and stuff. So the police told me, he said, if it wasn't for your nigger friends, we would have killed your black ass. So I spit on him in the back of the police car. Well, he went for his gun, and the other police that was driving took his hand off the steering wheel to try to stop him. And we on Broadway, the car's going like it, and so they called back up and they took me out of there and put me in another police car, right? Well, I went to the children's detention at the time.
Was it JCYC?
No.
It wasn't?
No, just children's center, that's what they call it. And my mom could have got me out that same day, but she said she's gonna let me stay there for the night. So the next day we get out. So the Courier Journal newspaper, the leading newspaper in Louisville, in Kentucky mainly, they put that on the front page at shooting right there. So we could have got some money over there. But my daddy, he wants to go up to the police station, tell him that he ain't gonna file no lawsuit, that it taught me a lesson, and all that. He was just talking stupid, and I just got up and ran up out of the little office room, came outside, two police was talking, and one of them's car was started, and I jumped and stole it right there in there, right? Stole the police car, right?
Right.
And I'm known for doing a lot of stuff, and I started carrying pistols when I was 13. Two of them, 45, nickel plated. I had twins. And so I robbed everybody. I robbed crap gangs, dope fiends, prostitutes, faggots, sissies, you name it. I was noted for it. I was the most feared young person in Louisville at that time. You know, and I ain't have no fear of the police, right? And as a matter of fact, another thing they documented, I had a cousin called John Sanders. And in the projects of Collar Homes, I'm driving through there in a stolen car. They got him spread eagle on the ground like this, you know, making him, you know, shameful. I got out of the car, drew on the police, took their weapons, got my cousin up out of the streets, and we took off. That's the type of person I was, right? So I was such a menace that when they finally caught up to me, they said, we're going to send him to the penitentiary. You know, I got locked up for 16 robberies, 8 shooting and wounded, and a car theft. So in a plea agreement, I took 12 years.
At 16 years old?
No, I was 15.
At 15?
Yeah, I was 15, and they sent me to the penitentiary. Even though back then, they had a law back then that juveniles can't go to adult prison, they sent me. They said, fuck that law, they sent me. So, when I get to prison, the same newspaper, Courier Journal, they came down to interview me my first day there. The headline read, 16-year-old prisoner wants to get out and go straight. That's the headline. Mm-hmm. So, and they still got that headlines in the Courier Journal. I had a friend that she had to pay $15, $20 to get it, you know, but they still got it on file. So, when I hit prison, you know, I see a lot of people out of robbed and stuff, and they talking shit. Oh, it's just gonna be a good day. Look who they just brought in. But what they didn't realize, I had 2 brothers locked up, 2 cousins, and a handful of just die-hard gangster niggas, you know.
Yeah.
So I started fighting down there, and my brothers, they run all up to my brothers, tell your little brother this and that. For we heard him, my brother, like, you ain't gonna do shit to him, you know. And so I fought and fought. And they had this dude down there named Reggie. Big old, I'm talking about, you know, back then they was wearing afros. Mm-hmm. This motherfucker had a big ass chest. His chest was so big that he can put a canned good on his chest and level it. It stuck out so far, you know. And every time I go take a shower, this nigga will come in the shower behind me. All them muscles and all that shit. I ain't have no muscles, you know. And he used to stare at me. You know, I look over at him, this nigga was washing up, staring right at me. So I'm like, you know, I tell my little partners and shit, what's up with this nigga? Keep staring at me and shit, right?
How old are you at this time?
16.
Wow.
This nigga here is in his 30s. You know, and I'm a child, you know, and I guess he thought he had some fresh meat, you know. So one day, you know, this went on and on. I ain't never said nothing to him about it. To be truthful, I was sort of like afraid of this nigga. For this nigga was this huge, man. I just said, God damn, I can't do nothing with this nigga here, man. Just ignore him, right? But one day he came out of the shower and brushed against me naked and said, excuse me. But I know the nigga did it on purpose, right? So I said, okay, that's it. So they had glass paint jobs that they sold to inmates out of commissary. So I went back there and took a paint job, dumped the shit out and broke it. I come back in that motherfucking bathroom. He said he was going to the store that day and asked me if he can pick me something up from the store. Nigga, you don't know me like that. So I already know what you done already brushed up against me naked. I felt your goddamn dick hit my side of my leg, right? All that excuse me shit Come on, bro. I took that motherfucking tank job and I said, I cut the fuck out of this nigga. This nigga ran, I'm right in back of him, cutting him, slicing him, everything. When I broke the glass, it had points on it. And, yeah. And so, because I did that, the guards and the administration back in, they said, look, you think you a tough little son of a bitch. We gonna send you somewhere, motherfucker. And we gonna see how tough you are. So they sent me to Eddyville, the maximum security penitentiary.
Eddyville.
Yeah, when I get down there, here's what got me about that prison. When I come on the yard, man, I'm 17. All these people in there is in their 40s and 50s and 30s. I'm a child, only young child in there. Man, I was walking across the loop going towards the property room. I see all these motherfuckers laying out kissing and shit, right? And back then, Eddyville didn't have a dress code. We can wear our own clothes then. The sisters can come out with thongs and bikinis and panties and all this shit, you know. And motherfuckers was laying around kissing and shit. So I'm like, what the fuck they got me at, man? You know. And so everybody staring at me, and I kept hearing the word nigga, nigga this, nigga that. I said, man, all these blacks down there, they tolerating this shit. I said, man, the first time one of them called me a nigga, I'm going to show them what type of nigga I really am, right? I'm a badass nigga, you know. And so I ignored it. And the second day, I get in the fight right there in the kitchen. They had some old bullshit out that can't nobody eat cheese. If you eat cheese, you a rat. They had that bullshit out then. And people come through the dining hall, they have hamburgers on. You know, put cheese on. When nobody get the cheese. So I told the man, I said, I ain't know nothing about this shit. So I said, can I get some cheese? He gave me a whole block of it. He said, yes, you can. So when I said it at the table, my friend from LaGrange, the other prison, he said, man, get that off your table, man. You eat that shit, everybody gonna think you're a rat. I said, fuck them. I'm gonna eat what the fuck I wanna eat. And I dare one of them call me that. And I heard a table, somebody kept saying, rat. I said, who the fuck is saying that? So I looked over and seen a group of white guys looking right at me. And when I seen that rat come out of his mouth, I just went over and just swung on the whole table. Everybody, so I went to the hole. So the guards and them thought this was gonna, like them white guards, they was racist. So they said, we're gonna put you back. You know, we went in front of the Justice Committee, they said, we're gonna let you out of the hole. And I guess they thought I wasn't gonna come back out. And yeah, I came out and it was an old black man. He said, I don't know who you are. I mind what you did. I'm too old to fight. He said, but take this. You don't need it. He gave me a butcher knife. I took it, and I seen that same group of white boys that I swung on come down the step. I already know they coming for me, right? So I just took off running straight towards them with the knife in my hand. I said, fuck it. You know, they might kill me, but I'm taking some motherfuckers out with me.
So you doing this at 17, 18 years old?
Yeah, I ran straight towards them. And then when I got almost up on them, they was hollering, hey, yo, ho, slow down, bro. Slow down, man. We ain't come to fight. They say, man, we don't know who put that shit out, man, but I've been eating cheese all my life. I ain't no goddamn rat, this and that. So that was the first situation I had to go into straighten out. That's when my name got established. So now they gonna put me in a cell.
So they know who Fleece is at that point.
Yeah. So they put me in a cell with this big old black motherfucker. They call him Doc, Big Doc. Boy, this motherfucker look like shit. King Kong was some motherfucker. He had a big old, his nose was about the size of my fist. He had a big old nose, red eyes, and he was a big motherfucker with big fingers and shit. He just looked like he was just made to fight, you know, like a gladiator type motherfucker. So I'm in a cell with him. They had double cells then. I stopped that long. I'll tell you about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this motherfucker, that's the one I was telling people about it, had that hole in the wall.
Yeah, that was to trick the
Yeah,
younger people, right?
yeah,
Go ahead and tell us about that, cause
Yeah, he had a hole in his wall. See what he did? It was a hole in his wall. So he took a little balloon thing and put some baby powder in it and blowed it up to where it swelled up. So he pressed it into the hole, stuck it in her, and then took a sheet of paper and put some cement on it. And when it hardened, he taped it over the hole and then painted over it where it looked like, you know, the regular wall and shit, right? I didn't know the shit was there.
mm-hmm.
So he started talking crazy and shit. He got to fuck something, all this old shit.
He got a what?
Fuck something.
Oh, okay. He trying to get somebody to mess
You
with.
know, he was trying to fuck me. So that's what his mind was all right. He was trying to fuck me, right?
Yeah.
So by that time, the door opened. We went out for chow, right? So I was telling some of my friends out there, man, this big black motherfucker. And so they gave me a little knife, a little knife. Because the butcher knife I used on the other incident, I had to get rid of that because if they caught me with it, they was going to charge me with it, you know, an outside charge.
Mm-hmm.
So I got another knife. So I went back in the thing. So this nigga put on a pair of shorts. They had a lot of holes in it. Whenever he walked, his shit will pop out of one of the holes, right? And he'll put it back in his drawers. And I'm like, I said, this is a nasty ass nigga right here. But I ain't gonna lie, I was afraid. I was actually afraid. And then when that nigga sounded off and hit that damn wall, and his arm went through there and bust that thing, and it made a big old boom noise, like he knocked the bricks out of the goddamn wall, right? And all this shit was floating in the air. I didn't know it was baby powder. I thought it was fragments of cement.
Right.
You know, the dust.
You thought his fist was that
Yeah,
hard.
and his arm was white and shit. And I was like, and he run up on me. Nigga, do I gotta fight you, nigga? Nigga, ah. I'm like, shit. The fuck I'm gonna do? This nigga give him some good ass, right? And I wasn't thinking about fighting. I was like, man, I'm gonna let this nigga penetrate me, man. You know. And he made one mistake. Cause when I moved that little knife, cause I already hit that knife, it stuck my leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
It brought me back to my senses. Nigga, you got a knife right here. Man, I gripped that mother. I'm left-handed, but I gripped that with my right hand, right? Because it was sitting on my right side.
Right.
And I ain't had time to switch it over to the left, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just came up with it, slap, and just ripped all that open, right? Up it cut him good, right? He ran to the door. God, God. So I ran him back up and hit his ankles and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brought him down to the ground, and I stabbed the shit out of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when the guards finally came up to him, to the cell, they was telling me I done backed all the way up to by the toilet, and they like, it's gonna be all right. Just put the knife down, put it down. I was shaking and everything, man,
Right.
blood everywhere. Well, I finally gave them the knife. They took this nasty nigga and they transferred him. I don't know if he died or what. I went to the hole. They did the same thing, let me out. They ain't even give me an outside charge for that, because they know what type of motherfucker he was. He was one of them types.
Right.
So then everything started going good. You know, people start thinking twice before they tried me and you know. And they looked at me like I was the only black person in that would fight back. I mean, really fight back. And so I had a thing, man. I kept seeing these sisters.
All right, Fleece. So now you seeing men in thongs and swimming suits and all that. What was that about?
Well, the prison, if you really look at it, I mean, it's common sense. If you go to a woman's prison, the person that is running that prison is the dykes. They run, they the one that whooped the girl. And Eddyville was the same way back then. It was mostly populated with this gay shit, you know. And these sisters had so much power where if you spoke bad to one of them, they kill you and I. You had to.
Who would kill you?
The inmates, they husbands and boyfriends and all the gay motherfuckers, right?
Mm.
And so you got to address them as like you would address a woman.
Ma'am, miss.
Yeah, ma'am, miss, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and all this shit, right?
Mm.
And call them a she.
How old are you at this time?
I'm still 17 when all this is going on, man. And I'm just now getting, you know, so I said, man, fuck your shit, right? So I started disliking all that shit, you know, but they had one that come in I'm talking about this motherfucker's ass was so fat. And he was, this is like a motherfucker's like your baby mama. That motherfucker's ass was fat, ungodly fat, right?
Right.
And he gets in the shower with me. And we was the only two in the shower. And I turned around and I seen that soap going down his back through the crack of his eye. I said, God damn. And I knew I had a problem right there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I said, fuck this shit, man. I ain't cut like that.
But
right?
you hadn't done nothing then.
No, I ain't done shit.
Okay.
And so, it's I say about 8 to 10 years in, you know, motherfucker get tired of all that jacking off shit. You know, and being that I came in so early, I didn't have no memories of girls that I done fuck, because I ain't even had a woman yet, you know. Because I was in jail at 14. I ain't even fuck with a woman yet, you know. Ain't never kissed one, none of that shit. Now I'm in the penitentiary around all this shit, right? So, you know, you switch from masturbating to looking at freak magazines, you know, porn magazines.
Right.
So that was the big thing, you know, but you get bored on that shit. You get burnt out on it, you know. And then, you know, something got to give, man.
So you wasn't necessarily gay when you went in, because you didn't even like seeing it at first.
No, I wasn't gay, period.
Okay.
You know, when I went in that motherfucker, I hated that shit.
Right.
You know, I hated the sight of it, you know. And when I used to rob them on the streets and shit, right, I used to smack them and all that shit, right. I remember when I got locked up in jail, before I went to prison, all them sisters was hollering, 30 years, that's that motherfucker that robbed us on the street, all that shit. And now I'm back to the penitentiary, man. You see so much shit going on in there. It's like a different environment, different community. You know, it's like a different world for real. And everybody was into it. They was kissing, they allowed it back then. And we had a swimming pool in that prison.
You had a swimming pool in
Man,
prison?
This is a maximum security prison, one of the toughest in America, and we had a pool. We had a swimming pool, we had go-karts, roller skates, indoor and outdoor, all that shit.
Wow.
See, the correction cabinet in Kentucky, they didn't want to put us to the strict shit that other prisons in other states put their prisoners through, right?
Right.
They felt like this is our community. As long as we respect it, they're going to give us privileges, you know, roller skates, we got a swimming pool, we got a real softball court, baseball, football field. We had a basketball full court inside of a gym. We had one outside. We had another one outside. We had 4 full court basketball. I mean, we had it all that shit, right? So, but here's what they did. They used to have something they call saltpeter. That's what they put in your food, right?
Saltpeter?
Yeah, it's supposed to produce something in you where you can't get hard.
Okay.
Keep your shit salt. But if you put too much in it'll have the reverse effect. You know, it'll make everybody hard. So the inmates that worked in the kitchen called themselves like playing jokes and shit. Most of them was gay, so they wanted to see that shit. So they would put a lot of it in the food.
Wow.
And you'll walk around all day long hard and shit, looking at each other. Everybody want to stir each other down and shit. You know, like, who's going to give it up? Give what up? I mean, goddamn. I mean, we all sitting here hard and motherfuckers, whoever got the fattest ass, I guess, you know. Fuck, that didn't really resonate to me, and I'm going to keep it real, 100, though. After about 10 years in, man, I'm burnt out on masturbating, jacking off, reading, looking at freak books. So, by that time, my reputation in there done picked up, right? I done fought so many battles and fights and stuff. I ain't lost shit. I ain't lose one fight in none. You know, I fought inmates, I fought the racist motherfuckers, I fought all the cliques. You know, all that Crip and Blood and GDs, all that shit went on the streets when I was last out. But while I was locked up, all that stuff started coming into prison. You know, and then they started taking away our privileges because these young motherfuckers would come in, start their bullshit. Everybody in blue want to fight everybody in red. Now it's a prison rat. So they took all of our clothes, took our shoes, started taking all our shit. You know, so I said, shit, fuck it. You know, I got to live a life in this motherfucker. You know, so I seen one of them running his mouth. Light-skinned motherfucker. He was out of Newburgh in Louisville. And I was talking about how tough he was and shit, right? And so one day I went to the shower, and him and his little road dogs, they came in the shower. They talking about whooping somebody and all that shit. But when I turned around and looked and see who was doing all that talking, I saw him. Man, his ass was so fat. I said, goddamn. He need to give that ass up. What is he talking about fighting who, nigga? You give somebody some booty, nigga. And so I didn't say nothing to him right then and there, right? But we knew. We knew all that shit was just talk, right?
Right.
Most of them coming on that gangster shit, man, they ain't gangsters for real, bro. They ain't gangsters for real. It's a shield. It's a shield. When you see people acting tough for no reason.
Protection, right? Like a protection mechanism.
Yeah, it's a protection mechanism. It's like they erected a shield, right? So the only thing you can see is what they talking. You can't see what's behind it, right? Unless you bust through that motherfucking shield, you'll see who's behind it. A cowboy, a gay motherfucker. You ain't got your guns in there, bro.
Right.
You know, and you try to click up with motherfuckers, and if they ain't got your back, you on your own. You know, and when you break down the cliques and get a motherfucker on his own, you can just walk up to him. And taking ass in prison, let me tell you, they give it up. Don't nobody take shit.
You ain't got to take nothing. You
don't got to take shit. You can just break through that little shield they got up, all that tough talk shit. Break through that. It's something they want to do, man. They want to give it up.
Wow. You
know, and I started picking up time and shit, and I went down with 12 years and picked up 40.
Yeah, we going to get into that because I think it's pretty wild. You had a 12-year bid and end up doing 40. All right, Fleece, now you about 10 years in, so you're in your mid-20s, and Now, what's going on in your life in prison at this point?
Well, the first thing that goes on in people's lives in prison is the people on the streets, your loved ones and your family, turn their back on you, bro. Stop sending you money. Don't come to visit you. You just like on your own. Don't nobody want to fuck with you, you know. And I'm like, fuck them. I don't need them anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So prison is just like the streets, you know, in a certain way because we got to live in there and survive, and people get robbed in there all the time. If you got money, you better know how to fight. If you don't know how to fight, somebody going to take your money and take your ass and all that with it, you know. And so I started running shit, you know.
Let me ask you, I don't mean to interrupt you. Let me ask you a question real quick because you said, because it's been said that you was taking ass. And you just said, in there you don't have to take no ass.
Nah, you don't have to take shit. Motherfuckers give you ass, man. Now, I'm going to ask everybody to listen to this shit. Now, I'm going to ask you this. What is the big fucking difference? An ass is ass, in my book. You know.
In your book, because of where you are at the time.
No,
period.
On the streets in prison, ass is ass, you know, to me. You know, ass is ass, bro. I mean, you know, you like out here in society, you got a lot of women out here.
Right.
You know, and motherfuckers don't need to go that route. You know, you got ladies out here, you got motherfuckers out here you can fuck for a beer. $2, $10, shit like that.
Right.
You never need to go do anything, you know, but in the penitentiary, how many people you know is strong enough? You know, you got a lot of fake motherfuckers that sit there and tell you a lot of shit about, man, I did 30 years or 40 years or 20-something years and ain't nothing, I ain't never did. He's lying. That's a goddamn lie.
Say it again. I'm sorry. He did.
You got people that get out of prison that done did a lot of prison time, over 15 years, and they try to tell people when they get out, yeah, man, I was strong, you know, man, I held up. He's lying like shit. He didn't do shit, but what everybody else did in the penitentiary. They sneak around, get their dick sucked, fuck somebody in the ass, buy ass. They sell ass in our, them sisters in our sells it. You know, just like prostitutes do on the streets. And them sisters in our look like women. Behave like them, conduct themselves like them, talk like them, and they have all the women traits. You know, they have the big hips, the big butts, the small waistlines. Some of them got titties. You know, and some of them is just think they was women. And it's hard for a motherfucker that been in for a long time to see them keep walking back and forth past your cell with all their booty hanging out and shit, not trying to get none, you know.
Right.
And so, it's like it is on the street. Whoever got the most money can get whatever the fuck he wants in the penitentiary. You gotta have money to get it. That's why I ran stores, poker games. I did all kinds of shit, right? And I accumulated a lot of money in there, right?
You started doing this in your mid-20s to late 20s?
Nah, I was in my 30s when I started making all that money.
Okay.
And I put my nieces and nephews through college.
So at that point, you accepted you was going to be there for the rest of your life?
Yeah. I done picked up so much time, I said I ain't going to never get out because I ain't going to never accept no disrespect. I'm not going to let no motherfucker disrespect me and just pat them on the back. No, I'm going to fuck your ass up, right?
Right.
And so, one guy, he owed me, you know, he thought he was slick. You know, like in penitentiary, he owed me, well, he borrowed a pack of cigarettes. So, you got to pay 2 back.
Two packs back?
Yeah, you know, give him a week. Give him on a Friday. Always pay on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
It's Come Friday, he said his money didn't come in, so the 2 went to 3 as interest. So when he didn't pay it the next week, the 3 went to 5, the 5 to 8, on up. And eventually, this motherfucker owed me 8 boxes of cigarettes. Then his money finally came, you know. So he gonna try to shortcut me. You know, he gonna give me 4 boxes of cigarettes. I said, hey, bro, you owe me 8. I know I owe you, and I don't know what else to do. I said, well, I'm going to tell you what to do. Pay me my goddamn money. You know, pay me my goddamn money. And I looked at him real hard, like, you know, yeah. He said, I said, yeah, I am serious. Pay me my money, I'll give me some ass. You know, he said, I don't play that shit. I don't do that. I don't do this. And I said, all right, bro. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then. He already know what that means. You know, I'll see you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So before we came out of our cells, the next day, he sent the note down on him. And in the note, he said, do you know a place where we can go, where you can do it, where we won't get caught?
Wow.
And I'm going to keep it real with you. I fucked the shit out of him. Yeah, I did. I fucked his ass, and I felt good about it, right? I fucked him. Fucked him hard. You know, hard.
And this was a man that wasn't even doing
This
it.
was a motherfucker that claimed he wasn't gay, he didn't do shit, he wasn't like it, but he owed me. Pay me, motherfucker. You know, and he gave me some booty. So I said, God damn, that was good. It was good ass right there. So I'm living my life in the penitentiary. You know, I'll never get back out. That's what I thought. I'm never going back to the streets, so I might as well make a life of this. I'm getting me a motherfucking wife in this motherfucker, you know.
Yeah, you going into what, 20 years in at this point?
Yeah, I need me a goddamn wife or something. I need motherfuckers to suck my dick on the regular. I need to fuck ass, whatever, jack me off, whatever you want to do. And if you want to consider that something wrong to do, then don't get on me, get on the lawmakers. Because they the motherfuckers that put motherfuckers in these penitentiaries, all males and all females in the same, you know, just separators. You know, and the Bible says, in the beginning, when God created man, what made God create the woman? You go back to the beginning of the Bible, it'll say, it is not good that a man should be alone. Why ain't it good? Well, I just told you why. Because if you ain't got, they gonna fuck each other. Somebody, motherfuckers' dicks get hard, they fucking. It's as simple as that, fucking. So, people like, look at it like, it's nasty. Now it's life. And if you was locked up, you'd be doing the same shit. I don't give a fuck who you are listening to this shit. If you was locked up, after you get in about 8 to 10 years in that motherfucker, yeah, you gonna get your dick sucked on the slick side. It was a whole lot of these little gangsters in Louisville that was trying to sneak around doing shit, right?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Fleece.
So it's a whole lot of little tough guys come out of my city, Louisville. They come in there try to, you know, these is fly niggas. These is niggas that hit all the women on the streets and shit, right? Well, here's the thing you ain't realizing. And all you young motherfuckers is out there fucking, keep this in your mind. That same sex drive you had on the streets, well, you just gotta fuck all the time. You fuck this girl, go across town, fuck another girl, fuck your best friend's girl, and all this shit. That same sex drive will go with you when you get locked up, brother. And that urge to have sex, that urge to come, to get that feeling, that sexual release, that goes with you. That don't stop at the prison gate. That goes in there with you. You know, and a lot of them in there, they turn to They follow ladies around the yard all day long, jacking off on them and hiding and all this. They call them butt bandits, booty bandits, and all this shit. They got over 150 motherfuckers in Eddyville. They come out of their cell every day looking for one thing, booty. They don't want no goddamn food, canteen, or nothing. They want ass. That's what they come out looking for. And if they find any weakness in you, they come to get it. They don't give a fuck how you look. So these young people come in with these real high sex drives and shit. So one dude, I got tired of hearing his mouth. He was talking about these nasty ass sissies down there. That's all they got down there, sissies and all this shit. Little pretty motherfucker. You know, it's one of them type of niggas on the street. All the ladies would say, "Ooh, he's so cute," and all. Yeah, niggas in prison say he's cute too. He's a baby doll. You know, niggas a baby doll in prison. The cute nigga on the street is a baby doll. And every women, all you ladies out here that have a man, you know if your man got a fat ass or not. You know, let that go through your man. Do he have a little fat ass on him or what? So when they get him, so I got to hear him dude run his mouth so bad. Mm-hmm. And I done already fucked one of these motherfuckers, right? A couple of them at that time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm offended, right? So I tell a sissy, I say, look, I'll pay you. See what he's about, right? About 2 months later, sissy came back and told me, said, guess what? I said, what? Said, we kissed. I said, you kissed who? And when he told me, I said, oh, little gangster nigga talking all this shit. I said, yeah. I said, all right, keep me posted. Next thing you know, he gave the sissy some head. Then sissy said he was fucking. So I'm like, hold up. I got to see this with my own eyes, right? Can you set it up where I can walk in with a crowd of niggas from Louisville and bust this motherfucker, right? Catch him right in the act. And we did. And that sissy was hammering in his ass. I'm talking about he was throwing log in him, bro. You know, you think a motherfucker's a sissy, he ain't got no, these motherfuckers had dicks bigger than ours, right? And sissy was turning that ass up and just turned his butt up. And I called him, and I dramatized it. I said, oh, god damn. God damn. What's that, a tree trunk coming out of your ass, nigga? And so later on, he came to sit down and talk. He said, can I talk to you? I said, yes. What's up, man? He said, hey, police. Man, I know you thought you saw what I said, look, bitch. Don't even come to me with that shit. I saw you take a dick in your ass, you a bitch, and that's all to it. You a bitch. So, you know, that happens a lot, and it's a lot of them. It's up in the hundreds. They come out of prison in Kentucky. I don't know about the other prisons, right. But in Kentucky, they done fucked around. A lot of them done been fucked in their own head. They done sucked dicks and all this. They come right out. You know, whatever you do is on you. You know, they get these girls. And they come right back out here in the streets on all that front shit, you know. And since I've been out, I'm out of prison now. And since I've been out, I'm married and shit, you know. My wife, we be sitting on the porch. Motherfuckers come up, motherfuckers I ain't even thought about. Come up out, is that Fleece? I said, yeah. What's up, dog? Nigga, hey. I said, this is my wife, Darlene. So they go, I mean my wife. And so they be like, hey, your husband, you know, he's a good man, he saved my life and all that shit and all that. And a lot of them, I won't say shit about them. You know, that's in the past, man. I'm not going to put your business out here in the street unless you get out here and do a lot of fronting and shit, right? You know, I had one front the other day, about a month ago, he killed a motherfucker in prison. And so he's out here, I happen to get a job. And this motherfucker's running his mouth about how tough he is and shit, right? He had everybody work around him coming to me and say, hey, man, you need to talk to your little buddy, man. Hey. I said, what? Man, this motherfucker said he was whooping shit in prison and all that. I said, had he killed the motherfucker? I said, he did. I said, what? He said, you was the only motherfucker. He ain't never fought, but he know he can whoop you. I said, whoop who? He said, I said, you didn't say that shit. They said, yeah. So I went to him in front of him. I said, bruh, you run around telling motherfuckers all this shit you did in the penitentiary, who you killed, and yeah, you killed a motherfucker, you know? And you will fight, but you can't whoop me. Plus you a bitch. You know, you won't put it out there? I was in there when you sucked dicks, took it in your ass. You know, you even wanted me to be your man, but I didn't want you. I said, is I'm lying? He turned his back and said, you win that, brother. And didn't say nothing else, right? And I hated to do that, but you know, sometimes you step up to motherfucker. And I'm a real motherfucker. I keep it 100, 100. I keep it gutter. I don't give a fuck about what any motherfucker think about me, right? And because anybody got something to say about me, I got something to say about them, you know, so we can go there, you know. I mean, what sense would it make for a prostitute to say that somebody that have sex with men, he's a dog? Well, what about what you do? What does a motherfucker baby raper look like running his mouth towards somebody? See, in prison, we had a code in there. As long as you wasn't a rat and wasn't the police and you didn't do that baby raping shit, hey, we ain't got no love for you. You know, as long as you keep it real, right? But them motherfuckers that do all that other shit, yeah. But I want to, since I've been out, I done had a lot of people confront me. Say, oh, you the booty man. You the booty man, you the... Oh, fuck you. I said, I'm what? Say, are you the booty man? I saw your documentary, this and that, all that shit. You know, I said, what you want to do, suck my dick? Is that what you want me to do, fuck you in your ass? Oh, no, I was just saying, man, I like the documentary, all that bullshit. But here's what I want to tell all my young G's, man, because even though I'm up in age now, I still got my youngness.
And we're gonna cut it right here after this. Go ahead. Go explain.
I want all my young niggas to know throughout the whole country, bruh. Hey, you gotta watch yourself when you go in them places. Your best friends will set you up. I've seen that so many times. Motherfuckers will sell motherfuckers in there. You know, you come in the penitentiary, think a motherfucker's gonna ride with you, die with you, and all that shit. But you don't know when you came in, the motherfucker you think is gonna ride him down, he done already been bitched out. You know. And when you go in there, you don't give a fuck about what people think about you, bro. I don't give a fuck about what nobody think about. I know who I am, right? Nigga, and like I said in that first interview, nigga, I'm a warrior for real. But warrior or not, you can put King Kong in the penitentiary, and I bet you he fuck some ass in there. You know, if he do 40 years in there, he gonna fuck some ass, right? And so I'm not sitting here asking for sympathy, for you to look at me any different from how you look at. I don't give a fuck how you look at me. I tell a person in a heartbeat. I heard somebody say, you know, one day, I got a lot of respect for you. I said, no, keep your respect. I don't need a shit. They don't put food on my table, clothes on my back, or shoes on my feet. So your respect don't mean shit to me. Whether I got it or I don't have it. And that's what I'm telling every one of you. Listen to this shit. I don't give a fuck what you think about it. Yeah, I did it. But I ain't never took it. Didn't have to take it. Ass fell in my lap. I had motherfuckers sitting on his dick, you know. And yeah, there got to be a man to take all this, right?
Let's save a little bit for him next time.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Big Lee, Hustler Spirit. We interviewing Fleece. We're going to get right back at him, too. It's another interview. I'm going to drop these little snippets, and we're going to get right back to the interview. Y'all have a good day.